Google's Android is at a crossroads, and the stakes couldn't be higher. While Apple Health has long been the go-to hub for iOS users, Android's Health Connect is struggling to keep up. But here's where it gets tricky. Google's recent delays in releasing Android 16 QPR1 source code have sparked whispers of a deeper shift in strategy. Is this a sign that Android's open-source roots are under threat? Or is it a calculated move to reclaim control in a fragmented ecosystem? Let's dive in. The source code saga, AOSP under fire. Last week, Google rolled out Android 16 QPR1 to Pixel users, but developers were left in the dark. Literally, the open-source AOSP, Android Open Source Project codebase, typically released within 48 hours, was missing in action. Google's vague explanation? Awaiting a couple of weeks. This isn't just a minor hiccup. For years, is Google tightening its grip on Android at the expense of openness? AOSP, licensed under Apache 2.0, is theoretically free for anyone to modify and redistribute. Yet in practice, Google wields immense control. It dictates compatibility requirements, enforces GMS, Google Mobile Services licensing, and even shut down public code contributions this year. Now, the EU is scrutinizing Google's practices, accusing it of monopolistic behavior. Scott Brown, co-host of this podcast, sums it up. Android's ubiquity is a win, but Google's struggle to balance control and openness is a ticking time bomb. And this is the part most people miss. AOSP will never be closed source, but its accessibility is shrinking. Google is slowly shifting from a collaborative model to a more centralized one, forcing OEMs to rely on GMS for updates and security patches. Is this evolution or erosion of Android's core ethos? Health Connect. Can it compete with Apple Health? Health Connect, Google's answer to Apple Health, is another battleground. Currently, it acts as a passive repository for third-party health data, but that could change. Rumors suggest Google is adding native step tracking, a move that could redefine the app. But here's the catch. Unlike Apple Health, which actively collects data via sensors, Health Connect remains device-specific. Users with multiple Android devices face fragmented data. Step counts on a phone versus a tablet don't sync. Scott, who doesn't use Health Connect, admits it's a missed opportunity. Apple's strict control makes their ecosystem seamless, while Google is scrambling to clean up its own mess. Will Health Connect evolve into a true cross-device platform, or will it stay a patchwork solution? And if Google fails, does that hand Apple an unfair advantage in health tech? Gemini app, the future of AI integration. Google's Gemini app is getting a facelift with features like a created by you library for generated content and Google Maps info cards during camera sharing. But are these updates just polishing a turd or a glimpse into Android's future? Scott argues they're a stepping stone for Android XR glasses. Imagine pointing your phone at a landmark and instantly seeing reviews and ratings without leaving the app. That's the vision. But with no concrete release date for Android XR, the wait feels endless. Is Google rushing ahead? Or are these features too clunky for phones and better suited for AR glasses? The bigger picture, Google's identity crisis. As Mishal Rahman notes, Google's strategy is a tightrope walk. It wants to maintain Android's dominance while appeasing regulators and OEMs. But how long can it juggle these demands? The EU's antitrust lawsuits and the EU's Digital Markets Act, DMA, are forcing Google to rethink its approach. Scott predicts, Google's power is undeniable, but its methods are under fire. If they don't adapt, they'll lose both developers and users. And this is the part that sparks debate. Is Google's shift toward control a necessary evolution or a betrayal of Android's open source ideals? Final thoughts. What's next for Android? Google's roadmap is murky. The delayed AOSP release, Health Connect's uncertain future, and Gemini's fragmented integration all hint at a company in transition. But here's the question we want you to tackle in the comments. Should Android prioritize openness even if it means slower innovation? Or is Google right to tighten its grip to ensure Android's long-term survival? And if you're a developer or OEM, how do you balance Google's demands with user needs? For now, the Android world waits. Pixel users get their updates. But the broader ecosystem is left guessing. One thing's clear, the Android we know today is changing, and the next few years will decide if it's for better or worse.